Child, I could not get on the internet fast enough. I had to dust off my good wig. We had to try to put ourselves together real quick because Jarvis Butts has been found deceased in prison. Now, my phone has been blowing up, honey. Let me tell you, people have been calling me, people have been texting me, people have been DMing me. I'm like, what's going on? What kind of emergency is happening? I couldn't even peel my eyes open good enough to look at the screen to find out that Jarvis Butts is deceased. We are over here smoking on a Jarvis pack today. Okay. Now, if you smoke that good, I don't dabble in the greenery. But pull out the greenery because we smoking on a Jarvis pack, okay? Now, according to officials, it looks like he took the easy way out, right? He took the coward way out. Instead of facing what he did to Neziah, the girlfriend's children that he had, and his own daughter, he decided to take the easy way out and take himself up out of here. Now, I'm like, what is going on? We have so much to unpack, okay? We have so much to talk about. We have to get into this. Now, like I said, it is being reported that he was the one who took himself out. And let me pull up the news article to bring you guys up to speed because, baby, a Jarvis pack this soon? What? We got to get into it. Now, for those of you guys who are under a rock and you have no idea who Jarvis Butts is, he is the creep of all creeps. He is the boogeyman of all creeps. Jarvis Butts is a sick individual who would basically seek out relationships with bad-built, low self-esteem women, and he would prey on them to get access to their children. He would prey on them. He had a criminal record of doing things with minors that was inappropriate, got out of jail, and still persisted on targeting low self-esteem, bad-built, funny-looking women so that he can gain access to their children. And even though he had a record, even though he already was a known offender, these desperate women in Detroit still wanted Adam, okay? They wanted the Puerto Rican hair, okay? They wanted, their kids to be, whatever. But they procreated with him, and he had a woman who looked like a backyardigan. If you guys know the cartoon Backyardigans, he dated this girl who looked like a big backyardigan, and she knew that he was an offender, right? She knew, and she wanted to give him a second chance, right? She felt like, who's gonna love me? Let me find an offender. And she decided to date him. And not only did she date him, but she had 5 children with him. Now, there started to be reports that he had violated other children around them. And the bad-built backyardigan woman of his, she ignored it. She not only ignored it, but she offered up her child as tribute that she shared with Jarvis. She offered up her niece as tribute just so that she can keep access to him. And they disguised it as the girls cleaning up his auto shop. The time that he would spend with them, they would go and clean up his auto shop, and he violated his girlfriend, baby mama's niece, his daughter, and so many more. Now, he ended up getting Neziah pregnant, which was the bad-built girlfriend's niece, and after he found out that she was pregnant, he tried to dispose of her because he had already been arrested for being an offender. Okay, he had already been exposed, did prison time for being a diddler, and him getting her pregnant would have been proof that he is a sicko, and he continued to do it again. So he decided to delete her and, her and the baby, and he got caught. He went to jail, and he has been going through the system for about a little over a year, like almost 2 years. He just got sentenced 2 weeks ago, and at his sentencing, they let him hide behind a COVID mask. He was moping in his chair, not looking up at anybody. Managed to get a fresh fade. Okay. He managed to get a fresh haircut. And the only person that he decided to look up at while he was at his sentencing was his daughter, who he penetrated as well. So we're going to unpack all of these things. We already talked about him so many times on my channel, but since we are smoking on a Jarvis pack, we're going to go through all of it today. Now, let me pull up the Fox 2 video where they tell you that he was found deceased.
Department of Corrections says Jarvis Butts was found dead in a prison in Jackson.
Butts had pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 13-year-old Neziah Harris. He was just given a sentence of 35 to 60 years just 2 weeks ago. The Detroit teen's body was never found. Butts was also sentenced for sexually assaulting children. Now, at this point, the Department of Corrections says that it's being reported as a suicide.
All right. So let's play that one more time.
I was in a car accident.
Oh, wait. They put an ad on there. But, so they're saying that he took himself out. Honey, let's hear this again, honey. Like, it's news that's too good to be true. You got to hear it again. Hold on.
In a prison. Department of Corrections says Jarvis Butts was found dead in a prison in Jackson.
Butts had pleaded guilty to second-degree murder.
Child smoking on a Jarvis pack. It says the Michigan Department of Corrections confirmed that Butts died Thursday at the Charles Egler Reception and Guidance Center in Jackson. MDOC officials said his death is being investigated in Michigan as him taking himself out. It says the staff provided life-saving measures which were unsuccessful. The Michigan State Police have been called to the facility to investigate his death, and his death is currently reported as the coward way out. All right. It says he was incarcerated after being sentenced to 35 to 60 years in prison 2 weeks ago. The 43-year-old pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for the death of Neziah Harris, who was 13. He was also sentenced to 5 to 15 years sentencing for doing nefarious things to other children. All right. It says a little deep dive about Neziah. Her body was never found. As part of his plea, he was required to give a statement of the location of her body. And he gave some bogus statement saying where she was, and she was never recovered. All right. So it says one of the most important aspects of the plea agreement was giving Neziah's family some semblance of closure. The disclosure of the location of her body was crucial. And it says after Butts was charged with murder of Harris, he was charged with varying degrees of other crimes against 5 girls between 4 and 13 years old. Those crimes happened all before Neziah disappeared, and he already had a previous diddler conviction against another child. Now, this wasn't a situation where women didn't know that he was a diddler, okay? They knew he was a diddler. They knew he had this conviction, and they wanted to date him anyways. He was a hot commodity because not only was he dating this bad-built woman that he had access to her niece and his child, he also was dating several other women all around Detroit. I'm like, he giving it out to everybody, okay? Anybody, everybody, you get a piece, you get a piece, you get a piece. You know, trauma for you, trauma for you, trauma for you. Another bad built woman, you get a piece. Then the kid, trauma for you, trauma for you, trauma for you. You know, and he was just giving it all out around town. Now, if you guys did not catch any of my coverage of Jarvis, let me pull up a video that I did. Or matter of fact, let's see, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go next? Hold on, y'all. Like, where do we want to go with this story? It's so much to unpack, but breaking news, like the video, hype the video. If you guys have not heard yet, if you just now coming in, we are smoking on a Jarvis pack. He took the coward way out. He is no longer here due to him not being able to face the trauma that he did to these girls, okay? He just, you know, oh my God, they gon', you know, I guess he probably was worried that he was gonna take his booncha cat in jail, okay? Or maybe they already start taking and grabbing on his booncha cat. I don't know. But he decided to, you know, cower out. I'm trying to pull up my video to show you the bad built baby mama. Because, hold on. Child, it's so much going on. I can't even pull up the video fast enough. Hold on, Nick, slow down. Neziah. Okay, here we go, child.
Calling people.
Child, hold on. Let me show y'all the audio that shows that the baby mama knew. She knew about it. She knew. I wanted to give him a chance. I thought he deserved a second chance. Oh, weirdo. What's that one sound effect? Weirdo. Oh, weird ass. Like, you that desperate for a man, you weird ass, that you would let him violate your damn, not only your child, I mean, not only your niece, but your own child. You weird ass. Oof, child, they upset me, honey. They upset me something so crucial, because it's like, it's never that deep. It's never that deep. It's never that deep. Like, all the community peeing in the world, you just had to get a man that you knew. Okay, it's one thing if you didn't know, but you knew. Content out, because at the end of, just put a
out it out.
Shannon admitted that she knew Jarvis was an offender, and she decided to give him a second chance. Now, we're going to re-listen to that a little bit, and then we're going to go forward.
Like, apparently this man has had a history of this. Like, so did you know about him being on the sex offenders list, or, you know, any kind of activity about that? Like, had you even heard of anything like that before out of him?
When I met him, when I was 19, he did tell me his background. He did tell me his background. Out it out. He gave me the decision.
So
if I wanted to pursue a relationship.
So given that his background was sex offender involving a child, right? And you still made the decision to talk to him?
One, I was 19, and two, if society can give you a second chance, why can't someone else give you a second chance as well?
All right, so as you heard that phone call, you heard a woman who was so desperate for attention of a, all right? So as you see, when I said that she looked like a backyardigan, I wasn't lying. This is her when they were together, and this is him. So that right there is Shannon Harris. Shannon Harris got with Jarvis, and let me pull up the backyardigans, because maybe, you know what I'm saying, some of us, you know, we of a particular age, you know, y'all might not know the cartoons and y'all might not know the reference. Hold on, let me pull up the backyardigan so that y'all know I ain't bullshitting. Backyardigans. Okay. Let me pull up the photo so y'all can see. We tell the truth around here. Okay? We absolutely tell the truth. All right? So there she is right here. The pink polka dot. All right? This is the characters, the backyardigans. All right? And then we have Shannon. Okay. Now, since this photo, Shannon has lost a great deal of weight. She's still bad built, and she's still unattractive, and she's still a whole clown. But, you know, she has lost a little bit of weight since this photo, okay? But this is her at her core. This is what she was looking like when she felt like it was necessary to date him, procreate with him, and offer up her children, her niece, and whoever else as tribute. Now, Shannon wasn't the only person to fail Neziah. Now, Neziah's own parents failed her as well. But let me go forward in my video that I did to show you guys that they were made aware of this situation where he was violating girls, and it was being reported that he did, and they thought it was funny, right? A year before Neziah was found deceased, there was this Twitter or Facebook war, right? There were family members who had called them out, right? The family had heard allegations that he was diddling with other children, and they called them out. Shannon, her sister, and her mama, they all pushed back. They thought that people were lying. They thought the allegations were funny. Now, I'm going to show you guys this part, because after we show you this, then we're going to go to the performance that they did at the courthouse, okay, when he got sentenced, trying to act like they gave a damn. Child, a mess. I presume that Shannon replied on her social media, right? Because somebody stole the other one's look. I'm like, sis, it's giving somebody copying somebody. But anyways, so her first post on social media was the following. January 7th, 2023, 1 year before Neziah went missing. It says, individuals that protect child violators and frighten their own children to not tell the truth is an absolute disgrace. And not only that, and still allow him to be around is sickening. She then came forward with another post. These things have been told to me, and I will make the tables turn. There will be no story you can tell. The truth will be exposed, and so will the individuals who are aware these things are happening. From what I understand, your mama did nothing when it happened to you, so now you are allowing it to happen to yours. The chain will be broken. Your family dark secrets have been exposed, and so will you. So Then I presume that Shannon replied on her social media, right? So I believe, because I can't see all of Shannon's posts, but this, all right. And if you guys are confused, this is one of their family members putting them on blast because there was allegations amongst the family that Jarvis was touching the young children in the home, and this family member put them on blast. This appears to be a reply to Shannon and making her actually go out and just expose what she knows. Okay? So let's say Shannon posted something and then this was the reply. The twins, as I hear it, there is a Chester the PDFer among them, and it has been confirmed by someone else. So speak facts before running your mouth off. So under the post where it said that they had a Chester the PDFer that they were basically covering for, Shannon and her bobblehead twin sister, instead of hitting like to it, they laughed at the status. So on Facebook, you're able to have different expressions. You can be sad, you can just simply like it, or you can laugh to the post, and they selected to their like to be a laugh, and they laughed at this post. Shannon and her bobblehead twin sister thought it was funny, and they laughed at this, as you see them in the likes. So Shannon Kidd's father offered his own daughters and someone else's daughter money to suck his. He has been to prison for PDFing a 13-year-old girl. And since Shannon don't want to raise the kids on her own, she told her kids that so they wouldn't get him in trouble. Shannon would rather lay up with the kid's father than to protect them from a child PDFer. But hey, there is more. Lady is so messed up because Annette did not believe her. Now, Lady is Naziah's mother. That is the nickname for Naziah's mother. Lady is so messed up because Annette did not believe her when Annette's husband Charles PDF'd her. She swept that under the rug, so there you have it. It runs in the family. Child PDF is okay at the Harris residence, and so is the holier-than-thou Annette. She knew about Jarvis. Don't call me out when I talk something. I got the facts. If you don't have the whole story in me, shut the F up, okay? So she was blowing the whistle on the situation, and she said, listen, something happened to Naziah's mother, and she wasn't protected. And now you have Naziah's daughter, and she's not protected. And these things are being covered up in your household. All right? So in between that last message and this message, again, I believe Shannon herself made a post. I can't see her post because she made a lot of her things on her page private. She made a post and she says, I got more. So type some more ish to me. Him offering them money, that was confirmed today. I talked to the little girl. All right. So she says she confirmed it and she talked to the little girl. So you better believe they're going to have her on the stand at trial and giving her firsthand account of her talking to whichever little girl she's talking about. She then says, I speak on something, I'm speaking the truth. I will be making them calls. All right. So she's alluding that she, a year prior to Naziah going missing, she's going to be making them calls. What are those calls? Calls to CPS to try and get them removed and out of their care and protected. All right, so this is another post where it looks like she was replying to them, either Shannon or the sister. It says, for the book, I have never ever talked or said anything about anyone else in this family being gay. That one is dead. Now, if you look at the comments, it said that this post had 17 comments on it. Now, if you go into the comments of this post, well, y'all can't go because the girl done deleted the stuff off her page, but I caught it before she deleted it. So anyway, if you go into the comments like I did, you'll see that Kenya was talking back and forth with someone in the comments. Now, when I clicked and selected all comments, only Kenya's comment showed up, And per the twins' words, they blocked her. So if they were going back and forth with her, and that would explain why there's 17 comments and it only showed me 2. So as you can see in this thread, she replied and she says, y'all more worried about who told than the mental state of the little girls. And again, I see why Lady is effed up. So again, Lady is Naziah's mom. And as you guys know, or some of you guys may not know, Naziah's mother is an addict. And she is a very bad addict. And therefore, she was not the one to raise Naziah. And it is alleged that the reason why she's messed up, according to these family members, is what happened to Naziah was done to her, and so on and so forth. But anyways, let's go forward. But as you can see, she was going back and forth with the twins, and those comments, I can't tell you what they said. I just seen what she said. Now let's go on. All right, so this next post looks like Shannon was talking mess again. And from what Kenya is saying, I'm going to assume Shannon was denying that he was an offender, which per the beginning of this video, we know that before she got with Jarvis, she admitted to Mark on the phone that she knew he had a record, and she knew that back when she was 19 years old. So now when Kenya is blowing the whistle, she's replying to Shannon 1 year prior to Naziah going missing, and I'm going to assume in January of 2023, she wasn't even pregnant yet. So Kenya puts his offender business on blast, and she pulls up his record that shows that he is a registered child diddler. And she says in her caption, he not what? He not what? And he don't like young girls. How old is he? 1982, you was born. His first wife divorced him because he was PDFing his daughter. Facts. He got his tail beat by some little girl family members because he was touching on her as well. Okay, and accompanied with this post, she pulled up Jarvis's record. Now, if you go on to the Michigan Offenders Registry, I'm not sure why they have Jarvis's name right here spelled incorrectly, but if you go to Michigan Offender Registry and you type in Jarvis Butts, this post right here, or this offender registry, will pop up, and it shows that Jarvis Butts is other names amongst other names that he goes by, and then this name, I'm gonna assume that whoever officially typed it in had probably did a typo, but it has all of his other, names attached to this record as well. So if you type in Jarvis Butts, this Jarvis Ramon Butts will come up. Same person, tomato, tomato. But anyways, she blew the whistle a year before. All of these messages that I'm reading, y'all, is a year before, but heavy on this. Okay? So let's continue. And then she tells Annette, I'll be at your church, Annette, to tell them how you threatened all the girls not to say a word to anyone. She then says, at the end of the day, this information was brought to me to help the situation. You decided to respond on Facebook as if you thought you was going to be able to control this. Your negative response blew this wide open. The stupider your post was, the bigger mine became. People who allow children to be compromised by any adults need to be prosecuted, period. What's done in the dark and swept under the rug will see the light and be uncovered. So again, she's responding to things that Shannon is saying. Again, I can't access Shannon's page as far as what she was responding to, but it's clear Shannon made a post and she clocked her in the next post. All right, so then the next morning, here comes the other big back twin. So the twin whose 9-year-old testified and said that Jarvis tried to violate her and that she witnessed him violate Naziah and her other cousin, being Shannon's other daughter. The mother of the 9-year-old that he tried as well, she jumps into the arena to step and defend Jarvis. So she hops into the ring and she says, stay in your damn lane, Kenya. Since you all over here, I got your nose. Founded in our business. You want it back? Hope you're up getting ready for church. You better beat the deacons there. All right, so she said that, and I believe she was replying to when the night before Kenya said, I'll be at your church, Annette, to tell them how you threaten all the little girls not to say a word to anyone. So the other twin is saying, girl, you better beat the deacons there. She then says, don't know why it's so hard for people to keep their nose on their face and mind the business that pays them. Since you got all this energy bashing people like you said when it's said, and don't have the same energy making a public apology, dummy head. And responses like this is why I think that they're a little bit delayed. Cause What? What are you saying? So when she made that post and she basically said, I don't know why it's so hard for people to keep their nose on their face and mind the business that pays them, yada, yada. Kenya then responded to her and she said, when it all blows open, prepare to be embarrassed that you, amongst others, are okay with child PDFers. All right? So she's responding to the other twin, like, girl, when it's all blow over, just know that you were complicit as well. All right? So then the other twin, she says, somebody needs to petition Kenya aid to the psychiatric ward. Crazy home. Guess she stopped taking her meds. Kenya replies and says, I swear, every smart A post you make, I have a better response. I will clown you. So then the bobblehead twin responded to this post and she wanted an apology for the accusations that Kenya had laid out. Don't know why it's so hard for people to keep their nose on their face and mind the business that pays them. Since you got all this energy bashing people like you said, when it's said and done, have that same energy and make a public apology, dummy. All right, so if you guys go to my page, this is a video that I did some time ago, and it is titled The Neziah Harris Video You've Been Waiting On. I did this video over a year ago. And in the video, I go over everything. I go over how Neziah's mother failed her. I go over how her grandmother failed her. I go over how a year before she got pregnant by this sicko, there was allegations that he was violating not only her, but the other children, and they all thought that it was funny. This Facebook war took place on social media where a family member had called them all out and was like, you guys are protecting a child diddler. You guys have a child diddler among you. There's allegations that he's violating children and you guys are covering it up. And this was a full out war between the family. I can't emphasize it enough. A year before Neziah went missing, her death was preventable. Her death could have been stopped. But these incompetent, bad-built, desperate bimbos decided to offer up these little girls and disregard the fact that he already had a record, disregard that there were young girls who had made allegations that he was continuing this behavior, disregard the attitude change in Neziah, disregard the behavior change in her own child, all to have a piece of a man that wasn't even just her man alone. He was giving it out to every other woman in Michigan along with her. She had to share him with all the other women. It wasn't even her man, okay, just alone, but he was handing out trauma to the kids and so on and so forth. Now, the family members of Neziah, the aunts who were calling them out, they called CPS. So a year before Neziah died, they called CPS. They called them out on Facebook, and Neziah's grandmother and aunt, they did nothing. They changed nothing. Matter of fact, they offered up the little girls even more. And so then we have Jarvis sentencing. So let me go to Jarvis sentencing. So as you see, the bobblehead twin, the bimbo baby mama, the grandmother, I didn't show y'all much today in this video about the grandma, but the grandmother, she was in on all of the hoots of the things. They got up there at Jarvis sentencing and they had the nerve to act like they were so upset with Jarvis. Oh, I'm so upset with you, Jarvis. You know, my life is inconvenienced because of what you did. Not, you know, I'm missing Naziah. I love Naziah. Where is Naziah? You know, why did you do this? All they could talk about is how their life has been inconvenienced because of their negligence. Now, let's go to his sentencing 2 weeks ago, where he was sentenced to 30 to 65 years. All right, let me fast forward this a bit.
Page number 28 under family.
All right, Mr. Makepeace, you were requesting some changes to how the guidelines report.
Yes, Judge, and I'm just going to go in the order that they were listed in the PSI.
I appreciate that. I'm on the first one.
And that would be case ending 2236.
Yes.
With respect to the PRVs, we believe those are correct.
Makepeace.
That would be case ending in 021
Total PRVs, total
of the offenses. 2 offenses.
Now, of course, Mr. Makepeace, under the Crime Victims' Rights Act, the various complainants on all files are entitled to make statements here in open court before the court imposes a sentence. Do you have complainants here?
We do, Judge. I believe APA Ripley is going to announce which ones are going up.
Okay. And how many people will be addressing the court today?
Judge, I believe 7.
7. Okay. All I would like from you, Ms. Ripley, is it does not matter to me what order they go. Just indicate which docket number they will be addressing the court on. Okay?
Yes, Judge.
And whenever you're ready.
I believe first we will have Ms. Annette Harris.
So if you are going to be addressing the court here today, you're going to come right through the center door, and you're going to go to the side of the courtroom nearest the prosecutor's table there, and you're going to have a seat in this chair directly next to me, and then I'll explain some ground rules to you before you begin speaking.
And Judge, for the record, that's going to be on case ending in 218.
218, thank you.
Yes. Here.
All right, so those of you guys who didn't see his sentencing, this is Naziah's incompetent grandmother. She knew about all of this as well and did nothing. She knew that there was allegations of Jarvis doing these inappropriate things with her granddaughter. She did nothing. And now this is her gonna go up on the stand to fake cry, to fake hyperventilate, to fake have this sad reaction about something that she could have prevented. A mess.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So, I just wanted to explain a few things to you. That red illuminated device in front of you, yes, that's a microphone. It's also a recording device. And I see that you have a written copy of the statement. Okay. So when you are done, if you could just provide a copy of that, perhaps to the prosecutor's office, so we can make a copy of that, okay? And then you can sit or stand, however you would like to do it. Just make sure that you're keeping your voice nice and loud and clear for us. If you could just first state and spell your name.
Excuse me. Annette Harris, ANNETTEHARRIS.
Thank you, ma'am. And there are Kleenex there if needed, whenever you're ready.
To the Honorable Judge Nicholas Hathaway in the Wayne County Circuit Court. to thank the court for giving me the opportunity to speak as I stand here before you to address the concerns that me and my family have. It has been 2 years and 2 months since I reported Messiah missing. I want you to know that my life will never be the same. My family's life will never be the same without Messiah. And every day that I wake up with her, I wake up feeling depressed.
I don't even know why these child diddler protectors were even able to testify in court and give a victim impact statement, because had you did your job as a grandmother and you would have been less worried about putting locks and chains on your refrigerator and more worried about actually protecting the children, this would not have happened. You knew about it a year before it happened. You had ample amount of time to protect Neziah. You had ample amount of time to step in and do what you were supposed to, but you was worried about a check. You was worried about making sure you secured that state money. So you didn't want to make the block hot by letting authorities know that the children had been compromised and they had been this trauma put onto them, and you were negligent, so you tried to cover it up. You should not have been even allowed to make this phony statement, because bitch, it's your fault that she's dead. It's you and your daughter's fault that she is no longer living, and you guys was worried about protecting this man, but got the audacity to put on this fake show. They make me mad. They make me so upset. I'm sorry. Like, it's like whenever I do this, I don't be trying to take like cases personal, but this case in particular, like, they just boil my blood, because it's one thing to be incompetent and be a child diddler protector, but it's another thing to be incompetent, a child diddler protector, and then try to put on this fake phony show. Girl, save it.
It's another day without her. I love her and I miss her dearly. I can't tell her that because her life was
that towel ain't wet at all.
I can't tell her that because her life was taken from her. Words cannot express just how much me and my family really miss and love Desire. This has impacted my life and my family's life. There are days when I can't, when I don't want to get out of bed. I wake up feeling depressed. I don't want to talk to anybody, to anyone, just get out of bed. To do the basic everyday things that I miss, I'm sorry.
Girl.
I don't want to get out of bed. I wake up feeling depressed. I don't want to talk to anyone. Just getting out of bed. To do the basic everyday things that I need to get done. This has affected my health. I am seeing more than one doctor about my health, including seeing the therapist. I don't feel safe in my home. My address and my phone number has been put on social media. People have been driving by, taking pictures of my home. I have been threatened Nazia's name without my permission. And this has also affected me financially. But I don't know. I'm sorry.
Take your time, man.
Shut up.
Anybody else wants to leave? There is a courtroom, 206 down the hallway. You can observe this proceeding. You can't go inside.
And I don't come to my home.
Let's step up. Two ladies here. Go, man. In the red and in the black. Let's go. Let's go.
Please remain quiet.
Quiet in the court!
Shut the fuck up.
Wait.
All right, so the commotion that you guys hear in the background, when I first reported this, I thought it was somebody telling this fake performance of the mama to shut up. But actually, what's happening right now while she's doing these fake crocodile tears is the woman who I showed you guys that exposed them a year before Naziah went missing. Remember, I just showed you guys the Facebook post where a woman by the name of Kenya was blowing the whistle on the family and how they were protecting Jarvis. She's here at the court sentencing, right? So the woman, Kenya, and Shannon was basically having words. And so Kenya was making comments about this, I guess, this fake performance that the mom was doing. And Shannon Harris, the baby mama of Jarvis, was telling Kenya to shut the F up. Now, there is a YouTuber by the name of Toot Uncensored. She talked about this on her channel. She said that she attended the hearing and she gave everybody the background on what was going on. She said that she was sitting there. She was watching the, this performance herself. And she said, Kenya, the woman who I showed you guys that had called them out, and Shannon were the ones who ended up getting kicked out. Now, she also, on her channel, she talked about how when Jarvis' daughter had came up, or no. Was it Jarvis' daughter? Oh, no, the sister, my bad. So the sister had also, Jarvis' sister had also gave an impact statement. And then I guess the YouTuber Toot Uncensored, she said that she made a comment and told Jarvis, like, look at her. And I think, look at the sister. It was either look at the sister or look at his daughter, one of them. I think it was the sister. And then she ended up getting put out of the court hearing as well. So that was, it was different commotions going on. Now, I think there was also a guy who, I guess he used to work, or he owned the shop that Jarvis worked at. I guess apparently he tried to attack Jarvis at this sentencing as well. It was a lot going on, okay? They had the man who owned the shop that Jarvis worked at. He was trying to attack Jarvis. He got put out. You got Shannon and the lady who put them on blast. They getting into it. They got put out. Then you had the YouTuber Toot. She ended up getting put out. Then you got the grandmother fake crying. And then Shannon's sister also did an impact statement where she was phony baloney crying as well.
All right, an additional reminder, if you're going to have difficulty controlling yourself, now would be a good time to leave.
Sir, I use the
I'm sorry, were you through, ma'am?
No, Judge, I'm going to finish reading the written statement for you.
Very good. You can return to your seat now. Mr. Makepeace, you can let her get situated and then you can proceed. Yes, sir.
All right, so the prosecutor's gonna finish reading her statement. Then this is Shannon Harris' sister. Then she goes up to give a phony impact statement as well.
Again, that red illuminated device.
Now, this is the twin sister who, when the lady Kenya was calling him out, she thought it was funny. She was laughing about it and everything. This is her.
The microphone and the recording device. Just try to direct your voice into that. And if you just state and spell your name, please.
My name is Marquita Harris, M-A-R-K-E-T-T-A. Last name, Harris, H-A-R-R-I-S.
Thank you. And ma'am, you also have a prepared statement?
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind just providing a copy to the prosecutor's office for the court file following the hearing today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, everyone.
So she about to act like she choked up and crying as well. Fake ass mama, fake ass daughter.
2 years, 2 months, 3 days. Since we heard, seen, or even physically touched Nazai. This has tremendously affected my family and I mentally, physically, and emotionally. Since this case started, we have been physically assaulted in public, cyberbullied, harassed, stalked, and so much more. I became homeless, lost several jobs in the past 2 years. My life, my family life, will never be the same again. You have taken something so precious from us that we'll never give back. Every morning, every day, every month, and every hour, I have to remind myself that my niece, Nazai, isn't coming back. Our life will never be the same again. Justice isn't served. You're still able to live. You're still able to get health care. You're still able to breathe without any remorse. You are an habitual serial predator. You have taken my kid's favorite cousin. You have taken my first daughter before I had my own. I hate you. I was nothing but the worst for you. I despise you. My children were removed from my care temporarily because of you. My children's behavior has changed because of you. You have gave the world a whole story to talk about, but today we're here to tell you how this made us feel. Justice will never be served. Going back to the house where Desire lived doesn't feel the same anymore. I don't sleep at all anymore. I recommend that the court give him the electric chair if that's what Michigan, that we have it. A life for a life. We will never know her last words. We will never know if she suffered in pain. I can't really say or express how I really feel to this whole tragic situation. Since January 9th, 2020.
Those of you guys who just asked in the chat, is this the baby mama or the twin? This is the bobblehead twin sister that co-signed all of the mess as well. This is the twin.
Before would be the day I never forget, the day that I got the call that she never came back home. I never live with myself. I never be able to hear her voice. I never be able to physically touch her. I never be able to see her smile. I never be able to. I'll never be able to get to hold her again. I'll never be able to get to listen to her, see her smile. I'll never get to see her tell me stories of what her day went on about school. I'll never get to have that chance ever again because of you. It hurts.
And lock up this lady too. You want to rub her back like she's some victim or that she's so devastated? What are you, the fucking child protector, predator, back assist rubber? Like, there needs to be a charge for that as well. For you to get up there and rub her back like she's some victim, like this was something that they could not have prevented, like this is just a tragedy that just happened out of nowhere, that they were none the wiser. Like, ma'am, you need a charge too. They need a charge. You need a charge. The other bimbo that went up there that was rubbing Annette back, she need a charge. Everybody needs to be arrested, okay? Because how you gonna get up there and rub her back like she's the damn victim? Oh, let me coddle her. Ain't nothing to coddle. She let that man touch her child. She let that man touch her niece. They laughed about it, thought it was funny. CPS was told about it. There was cases put on about it. Nothing was done about it. A year before all of this happened, and then you gonna get up there rubbing her back like she's some damn devastated auntie? Girl, lock your ass up too. The fuck? I can't believe you really just got up there and was rubbing her back like, oh, poor you. No, poor Neziah. Poor her bimblehead self, poor her innocent daughter. Poor her niece. Poor them. Like, that's who back you need to be rubbing. You need to be rubbing this Dizzy Broad's daughter's back that Jarvis violated. You need to be rubbing the back of his own daughter that he violated. But you go get up there and rub her back like she's some helpless child? Bitches, you cool? Rubbing up on her back like she's some... Like, girl, all of y'all piss me off. Child, but we smoking on a Jarvis pack. Those of you guys who just came on in, Jarvis is up out of here, okay? We smoking on a Jarvis pack. He is deceased. Oops.
Department of Corrections says Jarvis Butts was found dead in a prison in Jackson.
Butts had pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 13-year-old Neziah Harris. He was just given a sentence of 35 to 60 years just 2 weeks ago. The Detroit teen's body.
Department of Corrections says Jarvis Butts was found dead in a prison in Jackson.
All right. So we smoking on a Jarvis pack. But let's go to the impact statement of his daughter. So Jarvis's daughter that he shares with Shannon, she did a victim impact statement, and her impact statement was so sad. It was so gut-wrenching, that this monster was just like preying on all of these girls. It's crazy. So let me pull that up for y'all 1 second. Child.
And that for me starting at 4 years old. Who may have never be ready to speak out. We see him on social media, the news, and on TV. But behind those screens are real victims whose lives he has broken. He should not look away.
Sorry, that was another girl that was testifying. Let me go to his daughter.
Ripley, whenever you're ready.
Yes, Judge. On case ending in 4478, Miss Jalen White.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Again, you can sit or stand, however you're most comfortable talking to that resident.
He said exactly what he was doing.
And Ms. Butts.
Ms. Ripley, whenever you're ready.
Yes, Judge. I believe we will have on 6461 Ms. Bell and Ms. Butts.
They can come up now. Again, if you could just kindly try to talk into the microphone. If you're comfortable taking your mask down, probably would help with hearing you more clearly. Just state and spell your name, please.
Janiyah Butts. JAIYAHBUTTS.
Very good. Whenever you're ready.
You were once someone I called that until you did what you did. You took someone I really loved, someone I called sister, my favorite cousin, my best friend, my everything. You changed the way I dress, the way I think. You even changed my sexuality. You did very hurtful things to me. I lived with the trouble you caused me. I no longer look at you as a father figure, no longer as a hero, but now I look at you as a monster. You caused me trauma and made me look at men different.
Were you aware that she was done reading her statement?
I'm gonna find out.
Take your time. Thank you.
All right, so those of you guys in the chat, that was his biological daughter speaking. He violated her and he violated Neziah. So he would take his daughter, Neziah, they would go to the shop and they would act like they were cleaning up the shop. And he did disgusting acts to his daughter and to Neziah. He had them both doing these egregious things to him. So that was his daughter giving her impact statement and him trying to act like, you know, he's so hurt behind it. let's go to, click on it, Detroit. It says, he died in prison. He was found dead Thursday. Let's see if there's anything new. On here. So his release date was originally set for 2059. All right. So he decided to check out. Let me see if there's any new reports going on. Let's type in his name. Let's see. It says he was found dead today. It was confirmed by the Department of Corrections. The facility is 75 miles west of Detroit and about 35 miles south of Lansing, the state capital. It says, the staff provide, like I read before, they provided life-saving measures, which were unsuccessful. And officials, including Michigan State Police, were called to the scene to investigate. The man's death, the spokesperson said, was reported as him deleting himself. An autopsy will determine his official cause of death and manner of death. During his March 12th sentencing, Butts was sentenced to concurrent prison terms of 10 to 15 years on 5 counts of criminal conduct involving females between the ages of 4 and 13 years old. So that is the latest. Now, it's a sad, sad situation. This is Neziah Harris. This is the young girl that he decided to take her life after he impregnated her. This is Neziah Harris. Her body has never been recovered, and now Jarvis is checked out. If you guys want to call in and tell me your thoughts about this, I see that there are several people in the chat. Some people thinking that he didn't off himself. Some people thinking that somebody did this to him. Other people feeling like it's the cowardly way to go. I'm going to end this live, and then I'm going to go live again. So if you want to call in, matter of fact, let me see, is there anybody who wants to call in and give their thoughts before I even waste my time? Let me see first. If there is anybody, you personally want to call in, you want to give your thoughts about Jarvis, you want to, speak on the situation, how you feel, etc., type a 1 in the chat so I can gauge if there's anybody who's even interested. If not, then we can, just end the live altogether. But if you want to come up and you want to, tell your spiel about what you feel about it all, type a 1 in the chat. If there is enough people that want to speak on the matter, I'll end the live. I'll start a new live that's just a dedicated call-in live that's specifically just to let people air out how they feel about Jarvis. I don't want to do it on the same stream because even though you tell people to use particular words, in the heat of passion, y'all start saying all kind of words that just are just too much. I've already said enough words that were too much, okay? All right, so we have a couple ones in the chat. All right, so I'm going to restart the live. Now, don't be typing 1 in the chat if y'all not really wanting to speak. I'm going to end this live, refresh my page. Matter of fact, let me put the StreamYard link in the chat first before I go. Hold on 1 second. Let me give y'all the StreamYard link so that y'all can already have it, so that y'all can already click on it right now, and then we're going to restart this live. Hold on, let me give y'all the StreamYard link. 1 second, y'all. Let's copy this. Let me put the StreamYard link in the chat so we have it. 1 second, 1 second. And then we're going to restart and just do a pure call in. All right, click that link right there and click it right now. Click it right now so that I already have some guests, and then we're going to get straight into the call-in show. All right, click the link. Once I see y'all click the link, then I will end this live and start a new live. So click the link. I want to make sure that I have people who can call in. I'll give you a second. All right, give you a second. Click the link. Red Rose says, I'm mad that the family didn't get arrested for enabling. Right, I'm mad too. Somebody said something that they got immunity. I'm not too sure about that, but I seen that there was an allegation that they got immunity. But I'm like, even if they got immunity, they still shouldn't have been able to speak at his sentencing like they were the victims. But all right, so we got some people. All right, hey y'all, hey Taylor, hey the lead, how y'all doing? Unmute your mic.
Nick.
Hey, all right, so pause right there. We're not gonna get into anything right now. Let me end this live and restart. All right, those of you guys who are on my live, make sure to refresh my page because we're gonna start a stream right back.